After I've printed my box, what I'm going to do is get a ruler and a blunt instrument like a standard screwdriver or a butter knife, and I'm going to line up my ruler along the score dots. So there's going to be dots on each side. Make sure your ruler is lined up on all the dots, and then just firmly, but not too hard, run your instrument along there, kind of like you're cutting it, only what you're doing is just sort of creasing it with that. And so go and do that along all of the dotted lines one way. Hi. Oh, wow, you found it. Then turn your paper and score along the dotted lines going the other direction. After you're finished scoring, you can begin cutting it out. I went ahead and cut it out to the most extreme edges on the paper cutter just to save a little time, and now I'm using scissors to cut out the details. So I just cut around all the outside areas, and now it doesn't matter, you don't need those score lines anymore. The next step is going to be using an X-Acto knife to cut out the front window, which is in the shape of a cake, and the back doors, which have dotted lines. So here I'm cutting out the front window. By the way, I sped this up, so I'm really not cutting as quickly as it appears. I just wanted to save you some time watching. So now as I do the back windows, you'll notice there are some white dashed lines that I printed on here, and I'm just doing this by eye, but you could also use a ruler to cut against if you wanted to. And then there's a seam so that the doors can open. It's not really necessary, but it makes them fold a little nicer. There's some black dotted lines that you can score here to open the back doors. So now I can open these back doors, and this is my little backstage area where I'll be able to put my scroll in my little cranky theater. Next, I'm going to get out my hole punch, and I could use a skewer or something if I didn't have a hole punch, and I'm going to punch out the areas where my birthday candles are going to go through, so I'm punching out those holes. So now I'm ready to actually assemble my box. I'm going to go along and fold up all of the areas that I scored. I'm folding away from the front side. And there's one little flap that says apply adhesive here. I love those adhesive rollers. They're expensive, but they're so awesome. And I'm just going to line that up with the side, and that closes the box. Now I can tuck in the bottom, and that bottom actually makes a C shape that is going to flip over again inside and make like the stage area of my cranky theater. 1 3/4 inches or 1.75 inches is the perfect size for my straws, so I'm snipping them to that length. And I needed for this project to find drinking straws that would fit perfectly on my candles. So you might have to search around to find just the perfect straw and candle combination. Since candles are waxy and a little bit slippery, I suggest putting a dab of glue, if you've got it, or hot glue inside the straw, and then taping over the joint with cellophane tape. So you want to get a nice secure bond there so that they don't slip. Depending on the size of your straws, you may need to stick a pencil down in your holes and widen them a little bit to make your straw fit through, and it's going to slip right in through the top hole and then all the way through the hole that's in the stage area of your cranky theater. So now I can use my birthday candles as spindles to tape my little cranky scroll to.